I made it to the lake, and it was already wet because it was raining. And the spot that I was thinking to set up with was obviously wet, but it was also on more of a slant than this spot that I'm at now. So, being both of them wet, one of them more of a slant and more likely to slide into the mud, I decided to pick this one. It also has a big rock right by me, like a giant boulder that's acting like a wall. And I was trying to set up my tarp in a way that was fancy and creative instead of something simple that I've already done before. When I was trying to kind of make up silly, quick knots as I was going, but they weren't holding. So I spent the longest time I've spent in a long time trying to set up tonight. And I ended up going with something small and compact and simple, and used just one knot. So the advice I would give to myself next time was going to be more decisive with your knots, be more decisive with your setup, and don't dick around and waste so much time. I'm not sure if you can hear the rain, but it sucks to set up in the rain and the dark. And then I tried so many different ways with these knots that aren't holding. And then I finally decided I'm going to do something I've already done before. Fold my tarp in half and make it kind of a small one. Instead of trying to be fancy and creative, I should have done something I've already known to work. And I shouldn't have been messing with, silly knots that I'm making up as I go. Instead of using knots that I already know are good, even though they take longer than a quick little stupid thing I was doing. So, I'm not sure my shelter is showing up, but it's a small one tonight. Hiked up in the rain, got here just before dusk, or just at dusk, and I set up in the dark. So I'd recommend just being more decisive on your knots. That's what I had going on. Big boulder on the side. That was my little shelter by the rock. It's my handsome mug. Small lake behind me, peaks in the back. Call this place StinkyBear. It's got no name. And it's called StinkyBear because there's a bear that lives out here and stinks. Setting up last night in the dark and rain was not awesome. It took the longest it's taken me in a long time. To be more efficient, I should have been more decisive on my knots and on my setup. I was trying to be creative and maximize space and minimize, knot dexterity, and that just wasn't holding up. So I finally decided to use a setup that I'm very familiar with, super small and basic, and one knot that I'm familiar with. And then if I would have just done that in the first place, it would have been a 5-minute setup. But so an hour and a half later, that's the lesson I learned. Soaking and freezing for an hour and a half when I only needed to do that for 5 minutes. What I'm doing now is looking for the fish surfacing out there, and I do see very few. So I'm gonna put my fly rod together and go try some. I probably won't go all around the lake fishing all the sides, but I'll probably go a quarter of the way around it in one direction. So yeah, this is I think it's probably mostly fog now, but this is some smoke, and I can see back that way. I haven't seen blue sky in days. This is during This is September, like maybe 15th or so. 15, 16 on September 2020. So if you're familiar with this time, the world's on fire. Armageddon is coming. There's riots in the streets and racism everywhere. But it's not the racism you're told it is. It's the kind of racism where you're told you're racist because of the color of your skin. A bunch of lame people being lame. Yeah, so StinkyBear. And I smelled it yesterday. Through the rain and everything. That bear hasn't taken a shower since I left. That's where my shelter was set up. It's probably 5 by 7. Line up the reel this time. Might be the biggest one of the day. Just barely pulling him, and he's just kind of going with it. He's struggling again. Not sure where I go. Oh, looks like I got him in the top, front of the top nose, like upper lip, I guess. Guide him in without spending too much of his energy if I can. Big boy. Whoa, nice. Nice. Look at that guy. Way better. Oh man. Get you when you ain't paying attention. Oh, he came for it again. There he goes. Yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah. I don't know if I want to reel in or fight him in. He's not pulling too hard right now, but I still got him. Yeah, he's shaking it. He's trying to shake it. He's gonna break the surface. About the same size as the last one. Looks like I got him in the tongue. It's coastal. Yeah. All right, buddy. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. Oh, not the tongue. I got him in the corner of the lip. Yeah, another coastal. A little smaller than the last one. So I pulled this boulder out of the hill years ago. Moved it down here and I kind of buried it in the bank. It's got like a point on the bottom. And I buried it in a way that the top was flat, so it was a good bench. But now the water, the level of the lake comes up above this, and apparently it just eroded and now it's tipped. So I'm thinking if I can tip it back up, jam some rocks into there, and have a bench again. But it's pretty filled in the back, and like I said, it's kind of like a, I don't know, a point coming down, so it's heavy for one, but it's also digging into the dirt. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. This side's easier to manipulate. Wow. Okay, way better. This was like a footstool or something, so because this side was so much lower, your feet would hang, so I put this under there for that. It's not very stable. Yeah, the calories are more important than the flavor. So I'm choosing to eat some food that's not nearly as tasty as those fish I caught. I caught 3 fish today, didn't eat any of them. It's not a survival situation where I need to. They were all healthy and fit and swam away, and there was no, like, I didn't kill one pulling the hook out or depriving it of water or whatever. So there was no, none of them died, and none of them needed to be eaten, so I didn't eat them. Let them back go, so next time I come, maybe I'll catch them again. I have a lot more fun catching fish than I do, you know, killing them, cutting them open and cooking them. And yeah, they taste good, and that's great. And if I need to eat them, I will. Or if it died and wasn't able to swim away, you know, then I would eat that one. But in this situation, I have some nasty MRE to eat, so it's not that bad. Okay, so I got all my trash from the MRE and from other things. I'm going to compact them as much as I can. That powder smells good. This is stuff that I ate earlier. The wrapper of the stuff. Stuff it all into a small package if I can. Which I can, and I am. And then try to, you know, compact it. I'm not gonna need this hot beverage bag. I mean, I could have poured that into it, but there's no need to. So if I was going to make coffee, I could have used this, but I have my own cup, so I don't really need this. It is a little Ziploc bag that might be useful for something, but I don't think that I need it, so. Okay, so here's the main meal wrapper package. I'm trying to roll this up in a way that doesn't get sauce all over me. Success. Just gonna stick this in this little beverage Ziploc. this in there too. So now there's less items of trash and a smaller container. Okay, spoon that I didn't use. I'm taking this home. I like those. I have this little package. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I still have my little bowl thing that I'm going to actually use. Now I could stick this in there and fold it up, roll it up a certain way that I normally do. But in this case, I think I'm going to try to stick this in here. I think that will give me the most compact idea. So that's what I'm going to try. So I'm going to roll this down nice and small if I can. I'm just going to stick it in here on the side of that. It's going to fit. Okay, so now all of my trash is now right here. Super easy. Normally, the view out here would be fantastic, overlooking the Olympics, Puget Sound, back towards the peak I came from. But with the smoke, it's no good. God. I got sweat in my eye. I'm heading out of the trailhead, air quotes trailhead. This road is overgrown and it's beating the shit out of my truck. Here's one of the boulders. I scraped the fucking truck on that side of the boulder. It's gotta be right here. So I gotta go kind of as high as I can and almost as far as I can. Wow. Probably better in a Jeep.